Hello everyone, and welcome again to this series on how to draw iconic movie characters. Before we start, of course, if you could subscribe, that would be bra. Thanks very much. And ring that little bell icon if you want to know what's coming up next. Well, the iconic movie character today is the dark wizard from the Harry Potter series, Voldemort. Now, seemingly it's pronounced Voldemort because it's French for flight of death. And he has a very oval-shaped head. I was going to say a kind of rugby ball, but that's not very nice to Voldemort, is it? It's squared across the bottom, and I'm going to draw him screaming in rage. Obviously, Harry Potter has bested him again. And his ear, one ear comes in here, and the other ear about here. And his shoulders are quite high, with the cloak, the lines of the cloak coming in like this. Okay, and I'm going to do a pen drawing for you with a bit of hatching and so on. So in the middle here, say about a third of the way down, you have the eyes. And again, angry eyes pulled down in the centre like that and angled up. And this eye shape is going to be deeply shadowed, so I'm going to leave it, that's going to be black. I'll leave that just now, but that would be black when I'm shading it in pitch black, like Voldemort's soul. There we go. And that one comes into that. See those two shapes? Great. And you'll also get a bit of shading in that bit there, these eyebrows, and above his eyes on the forehead, these wrinkles and so on, and all sorts of bits and pieces of skin discoloration, you know, like that. And then the famous very narrow nose shape comes down like this, very thin snake-like nostrils, like that, okay, arching up the way, and very narrow sides to them as well. And of course he's yelling, so you get these creased lines coming down from the side of his nose like that, and then his mouth starts about there, top part, and angled slightly in like that, and the bottom slight curve up like that, and a bit of shape for the bottom lip, and another shape below that for the shading. Okay, and the teeth, two largest teeth in the centre there, these will be shaded as well, and then a couple more pointed in there like that, and a very vague shape of tongue coming in, almost like a heart shape. There, bottom teeth come up in a line like that. Some of them are pointed, but you kind of see the bottom part coming in there, like that, where it touches the gum. Like that, okay? And cheekbones again, the shading underneath here, a bit of shading down there, down the side, and that cheekbone there goes under his eyes as well, and fairly dark round about here. And very kind of bony structure, so you get cheekbone shading coming in like that, following that line down there. And the ear coming in to join the face there. Okay, well that's it sketched in for you. And now I've got a pen and we'll start to ink in. Okay, I've got a point head now, and I'm going to make this drawing like an impressionistic sketch. So, you know, you can use these kind of doubled up lines as you go around here, rather than one continuous line, you know. Get a slightly rough look, and the bony shape of the head coming down there like that. And I say this shading coming in there, the ears sticking out, and there coming in, and dark shape in there which will shade in at the end. and more dark in there. Okay, and as I said, at the top you've got all these bits of flaky skin and stuff on his head, plus bits of shading on the creases on his brow there, like that. And they kind of follow these lines here, you see, coming up like that. And it's quite good if you use a pen which is kind of drying out a bit. It means your lines are not so heavy. There's the shading. Now again, come down into the center here and pull those lines up and around. Okay, and I'm doubling up the lines a little bit so that the edges are slightly softer. Okay, like that, so they're not too harsh. And then a bit of shading coming down here. And up the side there like that. And again, the kind of boniness of his cheekbone coming around here. And this ear, his lug, as you say in Scotland, sticking out there. Now, this other eye, again, you can soften up those edges as you come round, like that. Now, it'll be quite dramatic when these eye sockets are filled in black, you know, almost giving a skull-like appearance. See that? You get that sense of shading around there, and also along the top of the eyes, lots of parallel lines together, coming up around there, and a bit of shading up here around the side of the head too, and that, okay, and a bit more just around here, and then a couple of lines on either side of this narrow nose, and these slits for the nostrils, and a bit of a line in here, the side. Okay, and the cheekbones, you can draw like that, these lines coming together, you know, pointing down towards the chin, and then you can go across that, like that, okay, and the other bit of his bony cheekbone coming in there, and down towards his chin now, bring it in a bit tighter there, and then these lines down the side of the mouth are quite deep, and again I'll be shading those in black. A bit of shading around this side of the mouth here and here, get a sense of the shape of it, you know, and a bit more shading down this side to soften that line a bit, and down here too. Right, the mouth now. I'll put an angle there, I'm going across the top, quite dark, and then more of an angle there, and sloping in, and the slight curve up to this point here. And the same with the bottom lip, and this shape down here, which I'm going to shade in darker than that once I get a thicker pen. Okay, back up to the teeth now. Get that shape on the top of the tooth coming in there, okay? And this is going to be fairly black right across here, and the actual teeth will be in shadow, so there'll be some shading across there, and the kind of heart shape of the tongue here. Okay, at the bottom teeth now, nice pointed one there. And the curve at the bottom. like that, okay? And this will be black around there and very dark in there. So let's bring these lines now to the bottom of his chin, straight across, and a bit of the cut of this line down here to join your chin shape. You get that. And then a bit of shading under the chin or along the bottom of it rather. There, and then lots of parallel lines down this side of the face. A bit of shading there. Okay, see again a bit of the shape of the face now, a bit more three-dimensional. Okay, right, I'm going to get a thicker pen now, and we'll put in some of this shading around here and also in the dark areas. Right, okay, we have a black pen now, and let's shade in these dark areas now. And you get a sense of the skeletal quality of Voldemort. Like that, okay, and this one too. Let's see, I come down like that. And actually get my pen again because there should be a bit of shading coming up there. And that accentuates that angry look, you know, the fierce look, like that. And the same with that coming up there, like that. And there's like a little curve around the side. Okay, and let's see a bit more dark shading under the eye here. Okay, and around here too. Accentuating these cheekbone shapes now. Again, and a bit more shading around with the ear. Okay, just touch that a bit more. Okay, right, back to the thicker pen now, and we'll put in these lines around the side. They come, don't touch the mouth, but they come fairly near it, okay? And this one too. And down to there. And let's see, back up to the ear. Put in this dark bit of shading there. And one in here. Now the mouth. And around those teeth, around the tongue shape. Okay, and then just draw around the top of the teeth shapes into the wee cracks there. Like that, okay? And then, as I said, this shading under his bottom lip, pretty black. Okay, right, a bit more shading on his tongue, take that down. Okay, so it's not as always. Right, now I'm going to get a thicker pen, even thicker pen, and we'll put in a bit of the cloak. Okay, I've drawn in these lines of his cloak and also the wrinkle shapes, and with this kind of round tip pen I'll start to shade in, but I'll use a broader one to finish off, okay? I'll just start off along these lines here and round the side, around the bottom part of his face here. Bring that up to here, under the ear. Okay, just a bit more thickness there. Then I can use the wedge-shaped pen. Okay, put that away and get this one now, and use the flat part. And you can make it much more dynamic once you've shaded in around these wrinkle shapes that's catching the light. If you use your pen to draw lines which kind of splay out like that, all the way around, like radiating, and give a much more dynamic look to your drawing. Like that. That kind of reinforces the whole sense of the scream that's coming from his mouth. Like that. Let's go for the black bits. And what you can also do, if you like, is to use a grey pen, like a middle tone, to bring in some more of the shading right up here. More of these kind of skin shapes on his, a bit more shading along here. Emphasize that curve a bit more, see, like that. That emphasizes the look. Okay, a bit more shading under here. And a bit more here, perhaps. And perhaps going across your lines with a fainter bit of shading there, like that. Okay? And perhaps even over that, the tongue shape, take that back a bit, and the teeth as well. So just make sure the bottom teeth stand out, like that. Okay, a bit more under the cheekbone there. And down here. Excellent. Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty good. It's a real good impression of what Voldemort looks like, especially when he's angry. He's not happy too often, mind you. Excellent. So I hope you enjoyed that. Drawing of the great dark wizard arch-enemy of Harry Potter. And I hope you can join me again when we're drawing another iconic movie character for you. But in the meantime, of course, all the best and happy drawing.